Hello everyone, this is Mr. Kane, and today we are working on solve equations, complete the solution, and this is PGH on IXL, level GA. Okay, so here are the directions. This says, complete the process for solving the equation. Fill in the missing term on each line. Simplify any fractions. So here is our equation. We have 3 parentheses, p plus 3 equals 9. Now what you have to do, think of what you would do in algebra. So you could multiply, right? I could multiply 3 times p and 3 times 3, but that doesn't look like that's what they did, right? In fact, if we look over here, it tells us what they did. It says they divided both sides by 3, which you can actually do that. Divide this side by 3, and if I divide this side by 3, this 3 goes away, leaving that, and 9 divided by 3 is just 3. Then in algebra, how would I get rid of this positive 3 right here? I would subtract 3, right? Subtract 3 from both sides. So if I subtracted 3 from this side, I would get 0. Let's do another one like that. So 6p plus 1 equals 13. So what would you normally do? You would subtract the 1, right? Which is what they did. And it tells us that's what they did. Subtract 1 from both sides. Okay? So subtract 1 from this side gives us 6p. Subtract 1 from this side, and 13 minus 1 is 12. Then, in algebra, how do I get rid of that 6? Well, I divide both sides by 6, right? So 12 divided by 6 is 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and jump up a level. Let's go ahead and jump up a level. I'll give you the timestamps in the video. So if you need to jump ahead to this, that's fine. Okay, so we have the equation. P divided by 5 minus 12 equals negative 2. All right, so if you look down here, this is one way to do it. What's gone is the negative 12. That's because they added 12 to both sides. That's how you get rid of negative 12. You do the opposite. So if I added 12 to negative 2, different signs means you subtract, so you get 12 minus 2, which is 10. Now, how would I get rid of the 5? Well, I would multiply, because the opposite of divide is multiply. So I multiply both sides by 5, what's in the denominator. So if I multiply this by 5, I get 50. Okay, moving on. Let's jump up a level here. Let's go to the next level, which is 47. So now we have these blanks. This is interesting. So it says a divided by 13 plus 16 equals 18. So if we look down here, what's gone from the top is the positive 16. And to get rid of the positive 16, you're going to subtract 16. So 18 minus 16 is where they got the 2, and we're going to select subtract 16 for both sides. Now, if you look up here and you look down here, what's gone? The 13 is gone because they multiplied both sides by 13. Because remember, to get rid of the denominator, since it's a divided by 13, you do the opposite of divide, which is multiply. So 2 times 13 would be 26. All right, let's go up another level. Go up another level. As it gets harder, the expressions on the left of your equation get a little tougher, and sometimes they add more blanks. So let's do this again. Look at this part of the equation, and then look down here. What disappeared? Well, the negative 15 disappeared. So it looks like they got rid of the negative 15 by doing the opposite, which is adding 15 to both sides. That's where if you add negative 8 and 15, you're going to get 7. So I'm going to add 15 to both sides. Now look up here and look down here. What's missing? The negative 9 is missing because they multiplied both sides by negative 9, which is how you get rid of division. And then if I multiply this side by negative 9, I get 7 times negative 9, which is negative 63. Okay, let's go up. Oh, we have a double blank, so let's do this one here. We've got 14a plus 4 equals 3a plus 4. Look at this part of the equation and look at this part of the equation. What is different? What do you notice? Well, this side looks very different, right? On this side, the 3a is missing. And on this side, we have 3a less than that. So it looks like what they did, they got rid of the 3a by doing the opposite, which is adding 3a. And the opposite of adding is subtracting. So they did minus 3a, which is where they got the 11a. Because 14a minus 3a gives you the 11a. So they subtracted 3a from both sides. Now let's look. What's gone? Well, on this side, you just have the 11a and the 4 is gone. So it looks like they did the opposite, which is subtract 4 from both sides, which is why this is 0, because 4 minus 4 is 0. So they subtracted 4 from both sides. And then we look at this side, we notice that the 11 is completely gone. So they divided both sides by 11, and 0 divided by 11 is still 0. Okay, let's go to the next level, see if these are any different. It looks like as you get closer and closer to the 80% mark, they just add more blanks. So let's look at the equation, shall we? We have negative 2, parentheses, negative v minus 5 plus 8 equals negative 10. Now let's look on this line, and what you notice is the negative 10 and the negative 10 are the same, which means they only did something to the left side of the equation. If you look up here, and then you look down here, you'll notice that the negative 2 is not there anymore. And you know they didn't divide because this side would be different. The negative 10 would be negative 5 because they would divide by negative 2, or positive 5 rather. So it looks like they distributed. So is that an option? It is. Apply the distributive property. There it is right there. So they multiplied the negative 2. So now, let's see what we have here. So notice the negative 10. See how that's the same? That means they only did something to the left. It looks like here the 2v is still there, but there's a blank here. So it looks like they're taking their 10 and their 8 and they're combining them together to get 18. And look, it says combine like terms. Then look at the top. We have 2v, we have an 18. Down here we just have 2v. The 18 is gone. How would you get rid of an 18 in algebra? Well, you do the opposite, which is negative 18. So they subtracted 18 from both sides, which is what happened here, because negative 10 minus 18 is in fact negative 28. So they subtract 18 from both sides, and then again, divide both sides by 2 to get negative 14. Okay, so it looks like from here on out, they're all about the same. Let me go ahead and jump up another level for those of you that are trying to achieve the higher level here. Yes, I think we can do this last one. It's basically the same. They just have more blanks, and it gets a little bit more tricky. But one of the things I recommend is look at this whole entire equation and look at this whole thing. And you notice that negative 16 and negative 16, they're the same. That means something only happened to the left. So on this equation, the negative 2 is gone, so they definitely distributed. They apply the distributive property. And let's check. Negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Why? And negative 2 times positive 8 is negative 16. Now let's look over here again. Again, negative 16 are the same. That means something happened only to the left. The 12y is the same. And so it looks like they combine like terms. Okay, then it tells us that on this side, to get rid of the negative 4 to get 12y, they added 4 to both sides. So negative 16 plus 4 is negative 12. And then if we divide both sides by 12, which is what we would do in algebra to get rid of that 12, we're going to get negative 1.